Almost a year ago, we investigated a popular hiking trail in Newport Beach with our daughter that is known for its beauty and upscale neighborhood. Unfortunately, as with many locations, there are often dark stories attached to the name. There have been multiple bodies that have been found in or around this popular hiking trail. The most popular story is of a 11-year-old girl named Linda O'Keefe whose life was taken away way too early. During our investigation, we had devices that went off, and upon reviewing our footage, we caught 3 different EVPs. 2 of them were of a man and a woman, and the third is what sounds of a little girl. After capturing the child's voice and researching her story, I wanted to bring her story back to life once more. As far as the 2 other voices that came through, I will include articles that I found online of the man and woman, but sadly, there is not much info on them. We did go back again with friends not too long ago. I still have a ton of footage to go through, so I'm hoping whatever spirits are there wanted to come through again that night. But for now, here's Linda's story. Body was found. His body was found. His body was found.
It's a K2 meter.
I call it the rainbow thing. Can you touch the rainbow or the teddy bear for me? Me and the teddy bear are friends right now.
Can you make the device in the middle go off? Make it light up? That's great. You made the thing.
On July 6, 1973, 11-year-old Linda Ann O'Keefe was abducted while walking home from her school. Her body was discovered in Back Bay the following morning. This is her story. Hi, I'm Linda O'Keefe, or Linda Ann O'Keefe, and I'm in trouble with my mom. 45 years ago today, I disappeared from Newport Beach. I was murdered and my body was found in Back Bay. My killer was never found. Today, I'm going to tell you my story. I was 11 years old on the day I disappeared. It's kind of strange. That year, 1973, July 6 also fell on a Friday. It was a cool day, cooler than usual. The high was about 70 degrees. Orchard Avenue, that's the street I grew up on. It's a small house and we lived here most of my life. At 8 a.m., I walked out my front door and I had no idea this would be the last time. My piano teacher is giving me a ride to summer school. Time for first period, here we go. School isn't really my thing. I get B's, C's, A's, and a couple D's. And I hate doing my homework. I'm not too fond of school in general, I guess. But not to brag, I'm really good at spelling and I love science. Want to know something else about me? I love the piano. Before I had piano lessons, I would go to the Hammond Organ Studio in my neighborhood, and I would play their organs and pianos for hours at a time. I also love painting and crafts. My mom says I'm artistically inclined. Break time. It's still a little chilly out, so I wrapped my green ski jacket a little tighter around as I head out the classroom door. I'm wearing a dress today. It's white with light blue flowers on it and dark blue trim. My mom made it. She makes a lot of my clothes and my sister's clothes. She's really good at sewing, and we don't have a lot of money for fancy store outfits anyhow. Back to class, time for second period. I should have had snack during break. I'm still getting used to the schedule here. I go to Lincoln Intermediate School, which was a middle school back in 1973, although I hear it's elementary school now. A lot has changed between the last time I was here and what it looks like in 2018. Along with my homemade dress, I'm wearing dark blue tennis shoes with a white trim and thick white ankle socks. My hair used to be shorter, but now it's long and brown, and I'm wearing it in a ponytail today. Yes, time for another break. I have a few coins in my bag, so I think I'll head over to Richard's Market. It's only a block and a half away anyway, so I can get over there and back in time for my next class. What to buy, what to buy. I settled on a pack of gum and hurried back to school in time for the next period. Third period, halfway there. Yes. Gosh, I wish it was a weekend today. Then I could go to the beach. I love the beach. This is the first summer that my mom and dad let me go by myself since we live so close. I'm a pretty quiet kid, I guess. I don't talk as much as some people, that's for sure. People call me shy. My parents say I'm sensitive, which I think means I'm an easier crier. It's true. Not all crying is the same, though. The last time I cried, really cried, was a few months ago. We have 3 cats, and one of them died. They told me she had cancer, but I don't really know what that means. I missed her so much for weeks and weeks after she was gone. That's the end of third period. Mrs. McWilliams has been my teacher all morning, but I'll have Mrs. Hoover next. One class with her, and then school is out for the day. It's time for last period of the day. Whew, I'd rather be watching TV right now. I love TV. I'll watch it at home, of course, but I also like to go to Fashion Island and watch the big TVs in the store. Besides my mom and dad and me, there are 2 more in the family, both sisters. My big sister is 18 and has a real job. She works at a dry cleaner's. She still lives with us, so I get to see her a lot. My little sister is only 9 and a half. She and I are really close. Finally, school is over. Like everyone else in the classroom, I'm getting excited about how to spend the rest of my afternoon or what I want to do this weekend. I obviously don't know yet, but I won't get to have a weekend. Usually I ride my bike to school. The ride home was easy because it's almost all downhill. But today, I got a ride to school, so no bike. I'm going to call my mom and see if she'll pick me up, so I don't have to walk home. The lady in the office said I need to wait. School's only been out for a few minutes, and my mom hasn't had time to get there yet. I can't use the phone yet. Adults always have rules for stuff like this. I know my mom isn't planning to pick me up, so I head back towards Richard's Market, just to waste some time until I can call her. My friend Brenda from third period skips past me with another girl and says hi. A turquoise van is driving up Harbor View Road. Brenda, who has turned around, started skipping backwards now. Will later tell the police that the van stops next to me a couple times as I'm walking along, but she's too far away to hear if anybody talks to me. I'm back in the school office now, and the lady lets me call my mom for a ride home this time. It doesn't go well. She's busy with a sewing project and tells me that I can walk home. It makes me upset and I cry. I'm an easy crier, remember? Still sniffling, I leave the office. I know why they say I'm lazy, but I just really don't want to walk home. My parents get annoyed when I ask for a ride home from school because it's such a short walk, but I hate it. I wish I had my bike. Even if I wanted to walk home, which I don't, I wouldn't leave right now. I'm still upset about not getting a ride home. I sit on the curb in front of the school with my feet sticking out of the street. I'll leave soon. Late tonight, the police will take a young woman named Janine. She and her mom are driving up Marguerite right now, and they see something they will not forget for a long time. It's me and a turquoise van. The van is parked along the curb just before the intersection of Marguerite and Inlet Drive. The front passenger door is open and I'm standing right beside it. Janine will remember that she sees the driver of a man, white, in his mid-20s or early 30s. Janine's mom is suspicious. It must be a mom instinct. As she turns onto Sanquin Hills Road, she slows down and pulls over. If that van drives by, write down the license plate number, she tells Janine, but the van doesn't drive by. Her heart sinks a bit as she sees the van go straight up Marguerite. She can't see how many people are inside. No one's concerned when I don't come home from school right away, or not too concerned anyway. It's a different time back in 1973, and kids roam the neighborhood on their bikes for hours at a time. My mom also made a book bag I'm carrying. It's red, white, and blue with stars, and it feels very patriotic after the 4th of July. My mom made matching bags for all 3 of us sisters and me. My mom made us all matching stuff a lot. We have a photo from when my little sister was just a baby, and all 3 of us girls were in pink gingham dresses. You can't tell because the photo is black and white, but my big sister remembers. I guess you can say that I'm kind of a moody kid. I've been acting out lately. Little stuff, like not coming home on time, just so they know I'm upset. This is a new bad habit of mine, and probably on my mom's mind quite a bit this afternoon. It's been 3 hours since she's heard from me, which is a lot when you're a young girl with no lunch in her stomach. Let's see, what else can I tell you about me? I've always been really good about tidying up. Mom says I'm like a little mother and always keep my room very neat. Whenever I clean up, I'll ask her to come see. I like hearing her tell me I did a good job. Mom starts calling around to see if I'm at anyone's house. I have several friends in the neighborhood and friends from school. Kathy, Jim, Stacy, Mona, Mary Lou, but no one has seen me since I walked away from Lincoln Intermediate. When Dad gets home from work, worries turn into action. We have 2 family cars. My dad gets in one, my big sister gets in the other, and they start to look for me. There's a feeling of disobedient, not knowing anything is actually wrong. No luck. I'm a Girl Scout and a member of the Corona Del Mar Youth Center, so there's a few places to check. I stopped going to the CDM community church a few months ago, but they check there too just in case. Everyone returns home, everyone but me, that is. At 6:42 p.m., the NBPD receives a call from a house on Orchard Avenue. Linda Ann O'Keefe is missing. 4 feet tall, 85 pounds, long brown hair and blue eyes. The search begins. My dad and sister join in again in their separate cars. The police get to the work, systematically checking the areas between school and my house. My mom has made about 40 phone calls by now trying to track me down. Officers are searching everywhere. Back then, there were vacant fields of South Pacific View and East Margaret. They searched the fields, the reservoirs, the neighborhoods, the streets, nothing. The sun is setting, and there's still no sign of me. My sister thinks I'm going to be in big trouble when they find me. My mom knows I'd never stay out past dark. A new theory, a new hope. My good friend Kathy's parents were sailing to Catalina tonight. Kathy wanted me to stay at her house, but my mom said no. Maybe Kathy and I had gone with them on a sailing trip. Every police officer in the city is looking for me right now. They eventually track down Kathy's parents' slip and see if their boat is gone. Could I have been so angry that I left town with my friend and not told anyone? The officers find some men on the boat in the slip and interview them. Yes, the men saw the boat leave a few hours ago with 6 adults on board and no little girls. Officers were searching Fashion Island, the Back Bay, on foot, by car, by helicopter. Jeeps are used in places the patrol cars can't get to. Still, nothing. The Catalina Harbor Department checked the Avalon Harbor for Kathy's parents. They haven't arrived yet, but when they do, the NBPD wants to make sure that I didn't run away with them. My mom hopes that the men on the boat were wrong. Janine knocks on the door of my house and asks to talk to a detective. The image of the little girl and the turquoise van is still burning in her mind, and she heard that little girl who lives there might be missing. A lady in the bluffs above the Back Bay hears a female voice outside screaming, "Stop, you're hurting me." She listens but hears nothing more. She doesn't know that I'm missing, that I'll be dead by morning, that they'll find a couple 100 yards from her home. As midnight draws near, there's a peace for my parents. My sisters are both asleep. My big sister has to work in the morning, and anyway, she is still certain that I am alive and well and in big trouble when they figure out where I've been. Kathy's parents still haven't turned up in Catalina. Until they do, there is still hope that at least one place that could be if officers can't find me. One place that doesn't involve a passing glimpse of a strange man in a van. The searches will continue throughout the night. Linda's story will resume at 7:30 a.m. The sun has been up for a couple hours, and the police department is still searching for me. More volunteers have joined in. When my big sister gets to work, she's shocked to see the headline on the front page of the Daily Plot. Girl 11 vanishes in Newport. Linda, vanished? No, she thinks. They must have this wrong. Tons of people are looking for me. The helicopter has been scouring the canyons and remote areas of Corona Del Mar. My dad is out looking for me too, with some officers. My mom is still home, peering through the curtains at all the activity on her quiet street. Less than a half mile away from my house, a man is getting on his bike. He pedals toward Back Bay with his 4-year-old son in tow. He's due to meet 2 friends there. A new shift of searchers is gathering at the police department. Newport Beach Explorer Post 1050, Costa Mesa Search and Rescue Post 198, and a handful of others are joining in to relieve the volunteers who have looked up for me all night long. The man and his friends meet the Back Bay and start to tour the area on bikes. They are looking for a good place to hold nature studies. Specifically, they are looking for a good place to observe frogs. The man is looking in the ditch on the east side of Back Bay Drive, searching for frogs' cattails. Instead, he sees something small and pale, my hand. He sees my hand and screams, trying to rouse me. His friends come over when they hear him screaming, peering through the cattails they grasp. They don't know who I am, of course, or who I was. They see a young girl's body, still in my mom's homemade dress. I've been strangled. They go for help. They ride along Back Bay Drive looking for a phone, a person, anything. Just before San Quinn Hills Road, they find a police car. The officer, one of many who have been searching for me, is the first to know this is the homicide investigation. The search for Linda Ann O'Keefe is now the search for Linda Ann O'Keefe's killer. Was it somebody I knew? A stranger? The man in the van? There are so many questions. There will be theories and a sketch of a person of interest, but my murderer will eventually become a cold case. NBPD detectives still look at my file, interview people who saw me or knew me, follow leads, but the trails lead nowhere. But now, 45 years later, I have a voice again, and I have something important to say. There's a new lead in my case, a face that comes with the DNA that the killer left behind. It's technology that didn't exist back in 1973, but it might change everything today. On Tuesday, February 19, 2019, detectives from NBPD arrested a man named James Allen, whose birthday is July 28, 1946 in Colorado Springs, Colorado, for my murder.
James Neal has been arrested for the murder and sexual assault of 11-year-old Linda O'Keefe.
Newport Beach detectives in 2018 contacted Parabon Nanolabs, a Virginia-based medical lab which used DNA from the crime to composite a sketch. Detectives still couldn't put a name to the computer sketch. They had checked the DNA against the databases of convicted felons over the years, but continued to come up empty-handed. That was until 2019. A man named James Neal was arrested after DNA submitted to a genealogical website linked him to a crime. He was awaiting trial for the July 1973 killing of 11-year-old Linda Ann O'Keefe
in Newport Beach, California,
for sexual assault of an 11-year-old girl in Newport Beach. James Allen Neal, who was 73 when arrested, was taken into an area hospital on May 25th due to an undisclosed illness. But unfortunately, Neal was pronounced dead at 5:15 a.m.
on the genealogy website.
Neal did not have any symptoms of COVID-19 and his cause of death has not been released.
72-year-old James
Although it sucks that he
Our
died before he
investigators
was
used forensic
convicted of my
DNA
murder.
testing and an
I hope
online
that my family
genealogy
has found
website
peace
to identify
knowing
the
that the
suspect's
person who did this to me
DNA
has
as
been
being
found.
consistent with DNA
I miss them
left at
dearly.
the crime scene.
I'm Linda Ann O'Keefe, and that was my story.